Bachelor in Paradise fans believe Sean was right about Kat. August 25th, 2025. Hello everyone! Welcome to my channel, Bachelor Nation News fans. Sean McLaughlin is the villain of Bachelor in Paradise Season 10 after the latest episode. But what if he isn't? Fans came to his defense and say he's right about Kat. Keep reading for all the details. Kat Izzo and Sean McLaughlin have intense falling out. Sean McLaughlin and Kat Izzo were both contestants on Season 9 of Bachelor in Paradise. He was sent home in week 2, but she stayed for the whole season and got engaged to John Henry Spurlock in the season finale. The relationship didn't last, and she joined Season 10 of the spinoff to look for love again. Sean McLaughlin was a late arrival. He ended up in a romance with Alicia Gupta by default. The contestants were told in a recent episode that the couples still on the beach were no longer on a dating show, but instead a competition for a $500,000 cash prize. But to get the money, they had to be the last couple standing, which meant eliminating all the other couples. Sean tried to use his political background to lobby for Jess Edwards and Spencer Conley to get voted out. Kat Izzo, who was good friends with Sean, tried to talk to him about backing off because people were getting upset with him. But he didn't listen, and the two had an explosive argument. If anyone has ever defended Kat more than me, I'd be shocked. In every situation I've ever been in where Kat's character has been questioned, I've been the first one to come to her defense, he said in a confessional after Kat denied that they were friends. Bachelor in Paradise fans defend him, think he's right about Kat. Sean had a parting shot at Kat after he quit the show with Alicia. "Dale, I love you, but Kat, don't call me crying after this one ends," he told her. Alicia later made the shocking allegation that Kat Izzo had a boyfriend the entire time Bachelor in Paradise filmed. Many fans think that intel came from Sean. The allegations haven't been made on screen yet, but it may come up during the season finale or the reunion. In the meantime, one Bachelor in Paradise fan took to social media to defend Sean. Pop culture enthusiast and podcast host Morgan Page, aka Morgan P. Talks on Instagram, made a video about Sean possibly being vindicated at the reunion. The Bachelor in Paradise star allegedly has receipts about everything he claimed about Kat, including her rumored secret boyfriend. Sean McLaughlin reacts to his villain label. Morgan P. Talks reminded viewers that Kat Izzo was the biggest villain on Season 9 of Bachelor in Paradise. She was determined to find love and didn't care who she had to step on to find it. The podcast host mentioned that Sean McLaughlin left a response on their previous post about Sean being the villain of Season 10. "With this season, if the whole cast comes after you, you're probably not a villain," he wrote. Sean compared himself to Batman, noting that Gotham thought the superhero was a villain at first, too. Do you think Sean McLaughlin will be vindicated at the reunion? Sound off in the sunsets. The drama rises. The ocean waves crashed against the sandy shores of Mexico, the sun painting the sky in hues of gold and coral. It was the quintessential setting for love, or heartbreak. Paradise had always been marketed as the place where broken hearts found second chances, but Season 10 was proving to be a battlefield disguised as a vacation. The fan chatter online had already reached fever pitch. Reddit threads buzzed, Twitter exploded with memes. TikTok was flooded with hot takes. And at the center of all this noise, Sean McLaughlin and Kat Izzo. Sean wasn't the loudest contestant. He didn't have Brayden's flair for dramatic earrings or Aaron's over-the-top declarations. But what Sean did have was intuition. And if fans were to be believed, that intuition had zeroed in on Kat long before anyone else dared to admit what they were seeing. "She's not here for love," Sean had whispered during one of the beach cabana confessionals, his eyes squinting against the sun, his tone serious. "Kat's playing Paradise like it's a chessboard, and the rest of us, we're just pawns." At the time, viewers weren't sure what to make of his words. Was Sean being salty because Kat didn't choose him, or was he seeing something no one else wanted to say out loud? Weeks later, fans were convinced Sean was right about Kat all along. The arrival that changed everything. When Kat first walked down the stairs in Paradise, jaws dropped. She radiated confidence. Her blue bikini shimmered in the sunlight, her smile wide and inviting. The men perked up instantly. The women exchanged nervous glances. Everyone knew Kat's reputation from her time on The Bachelor. She was bold, she was unapologetic, and she didn't back down from confrontation. But with that reputation came whispers. "She'll say whatever she needs to say in the moment," one contestant muttered under their breath during filming. But does she actually mean it? Kat wasted no time making connections. One day she was holding hands with Tanner by the pool. The next, she was sneaking off with John Henry. By the weekend, she was laughing at Brayden's jokes like they were in their own private world. The musical chairs of Kat's romantic choices became the centerpiece of the season, and with every new date card she accepted, every shift in loyalty, Sean's words echoed louder. She's not serious about any of them. Sean speaks his mind. What set Sean apart was his willingness to speak up, not just to producers, but to Kat herself. During one tense bonfire evening, as couples cozied up under blankets, Sean finally confronted her. "Kat," he began, his voice calm but steady, "do you even know what you want here, or are you just keeping your options open until the finale?" Kat's eyes narrowed. The camera zoomed in, capturing every micro-expression for dramatic effect. "That's not fair, Sean," she shot back. "I'm exploring connections. Isn't that the whole point of Paradise? We're not engaged yet. I'm not locking myself into something that doesn't feel right." The group fell silent. Some nodded in agreement with Kat's defense. Others shifted uncomfortably, knowing Sean had just said what many were thinking but too afraid to admit. In that moment, fans didn't know who to side with. But as the season unfolded, Sean's words seemed prophetic. The fans' turn. By the halfway point of the season, Twitter had all but crowned Sean the truth teller of Paradise. Sean tried to warn them, Kat is a hurricane. Every time Kat switches guys, Sean's words replay in my head like a prophecy. Unpopular opinion, Sean greater than Kat this season. At least he's being real. Clips of Sean's confessionals went viral on TikTok, spliced with dramatic music and captions like, "He knew." Kat, on the other hand, faced growing criticism. Viewers began to question her sincerity, accusing her of chasing screen time rather than love. Her confident strolls down the beach, once admired, were now edited into villainous montages with ominous background tracks. It was reality TV alchemy at its finest. One contestant elevated as the unlikely hero, the other painted as the strategic mastermind. Behind the scenes. Insiders later revealed that Kat and Sean's tension went deeper than what aired on TV. Sources close to production claimed Sean was frustrated with how Kat charmed producers, always seeming to get the best date cards or the most camera time. "She knew exactly how to work the system," one crew member allegedly spilled. "Kat was always 2 steps ahead. Sean didn't like that. It rubbed him the wrong way." In contrast, Sean was portrayed as the everyman, the guy who just wanted something genuine. That authenticity, or at least the perception of it, endeared him to fans. "Kat is Paradise 101, another former contestant tweeted. "Sean is Paradise reality check." The breaking point. The climax came during a rose ceremony. Kat had a choice to make between 2 men she'd been stringing along. The atmosphere was thick with tension, the flicker of candles reflecting on nervous faces. Sean, standing off to the side, couldn't help himself. "You can't keep doing this, Kat," he whispered, just loud enough for the microphones to pick up. "At some point, it stops being exploring and starts being playing with people's feelings." The gasp from the crowd was audible. Kat froze, her rose in hand. The producers licked their lips behind the cameras. This was gold. Kat chose her rose, but in the edit, the focus was all on Sean's line. The episode ended with his words echoing in voiceover, setting social media ablaze. Fans rewrite a narrative. After that moment, fans began to reassess Kat's entire arc. Every flirtation, every tearful confession, every romantic switch-up was reinterpreted through Sean's lens. Maybe Sean hadn't been bitter. Maybe he had been honest. Reddit threads sprouted with titles like, "Sean called it from day one," "Kat's Paradise Game exposed," "Was Kat the villain all along?" Meanwhile, Sean memes exploded. Screenshots of his serious face were overlaid with captions like, "Trust me, bro." The tide had turned. Sean, the once overlooked contestant, was now the audience's voice of reason. Kat, the early fan favorite, had become the subject of skepticism. Kat fights back. Kat, of course, wasn't about to let the narrative slide uncontested. On Instagram stories, she defended herself passionately. "Paradise is about figuring things out. If that means I went on more dates than others, so what? I wasn't going to apologize for making the most of my time there. Love isn't linear, and neither is this show." But the comment section told a different story. "Girl, Sean read you like a book. You are never serious, admit it. Sean greater than Kat. End of story." Kat's posts, once filled with heart emojis and fan support, now bristled with criticism. Sean, meanwhile, stayed relatively quiet. That silence only added to his aura. Fans praised him for taking the high road, even if, behind the scenes, he was just avoiding the chaos. The reunion bombshell. The reunion special was the final nail in the coffin, or the ultimate redemption arc, depending on who you asked. Sean, seated at the end of the couch in a tailored navy suit, looked calm and collected. Kat, sitting front and center, wore a fiery red dress that screamed defiance. When asked directly if she had played the game, Kat smirked. "I played by the rules of paradise," she said, which is, there are no rules. The audience groaned. Sean raised an eyebrow. "I just think people deserve honesty," he replied. The crowd erupted into applause. Twitter exploded within minutes. "Seein' for next Bachelor." Kat's eye roll became the meme of the week. The legacy of Sean versus Kat. As the season wrapped, the storyline of Sean and Kat became bigger than Paradise itself. Entertainment blogs dissected it, podcasts debated it, TikTok creators reenacted their showdown with dramatic flair. But one conclusion seemed universal. Sean had been right about Kat all along. Not because Kat was necessarily malicious, but because she embodied what Paradise had evolved into. Part love story, part strategy game, part fame chase. Sean had simply said the quiet part out loud. And in doing so, he became a fan-favorite truth-teller, while Kat became the lightning rod for reality TV controversy. Beyond Paradise. Months after the finale, Sean continued to ride his wave of newfound popularity. Brand deals rolled in, podcast guest appearances stacked up, and his name was thrown into the ring for the next season of The Bachelor. Kat, ever the survivor, leaned into her villain reputation. She launched a YouTube channel, branding herself as the Queen of Chaos, where she broke down reality TV strategy and spilled behind-the-scenes tea. In the end, both Sean and Kat found what they wanted from Paradise. Not necessarily love, but a place in the pop culture conversation. And as fans reflected on the season, the verdict was clear. Sean was right about
on the
Kat.
beach. While Paradise cameras captured the obvious drama, there was always a second show happening behind the palm trees, the Whisper Network. Contestants whispered in cabanas, by the bar, in the powder room. And who was the #1 topic? Kat. "She's got her eye on screen time, not soulmates," one unnamed contestant told production in a hot mic moment later leaked to Bachelor Nation podcasts. Others recalled Kat dropping lines like, "America is going to love this outfit," or "I know how to get more camera time, just wait." Fans on Reddit picked apart these whispers. Some claimed producers fed Kat opportunities because she stirred the most drama. Others believed Kat manipulated both men and women in the cast, always staying 2 steps ahead. And right in the middle of those whispers was Sean, quietly nodding and saying, "Told you so." Sean's island popularity surges. What producers didn't expect? Sean's stock value with fans skyrocketed. Memes of Sean's raised eyebrow became reaction gifs for every awkward dating situation. Fans crowned him the voice of reason in a sea of chaos. Even contestants who weren't on Kat's radar began defending Sean in interviews. Sean just kept it real, one Paradise alum shared on TikTok Live. Kat wanted a chessboard. Sean wanted a checkers match. Simple, honest, direct. That relatability became Sean's weapon. While Kat's every move was dissected, Sean's quiet authenticity grew louder with each passing week. Chapter 13. The Social Media Civil War. By mid-season, the fandom had split into factions. Team Kat argued that she was just doing what everyone else in Paradise did, date around and explore connections. They saw her as bold, unapologetic, and playing the game better than anyone else. Team Sean insisted she was manipulative and disingenuous, pointing back to his warnings. To them, he was the truth teller, calling out bad behavior. The hashtags trended accordingly. Hashtag Kat was right. Hashtag Sean knew. Hashtag Paradise Prophet. TikTok creators reenacted Kat and Sean's beach confrontation with dramatic soap opera music. YouTube recap channels pumped out theories about whether Kat was really the mastermind villain or just an unlucky edit. Fans weren't just watching Paradise, they were dissecting it like it was a political scandal. The rose ceremony that changed reality TV. Every Bachelor Nation fan remembers that rose ceremony. Kat stood there, clutching the rose, with two men waiting for her choice. The cameras panned across nervous faces. The tiki torches flickered. And then Sean muttered those infamous words. "You can't keep doing this, Kat." It wasn't just a line. It was the line. The kind that reality TV editors dream of. The kind that cements a contestant into franchise lore. In the final cut, the music dropped. A slow zoom on Sean's face. Kat freezing, mid-decision. The audience at home felt like the world stopped. That single sentence became the season's thesis statement. Producers' dirty hands. Insider reports later suggested producers loved the Sean versus Kat narrative. One source spilled. Kat gave them chaos, Sean gave them conscience. That's the perfect cocktail for ratings. Rumors spread that Sean was even offered extra airtime because his skeptical commentary balanced Kat's unpredictability. Paradise had its new hero versus villain storyline, and fans ate it up like popcorn. But behind the scenes, contestants claimed Sean was exhausted. He didn't want to be the guy who always called her out, one said. He just couldn't bite his tongue anymore. The irony? His reluctance to stir drama made his honesty more dramatic. The reunion goes nuclear. The reunion taping weeks later was the most anticipated in Paradise history. Sean sat stone-faced, dressed in navy with polished loafers. Kat glittered in red, her confidence unshaken, or so it seemed. When Jesse Palmer asked Sean if he still believed Kat was playing the game, Sean didn't hesitate. "I stand by what I said," he replied. "If you want clout, that's fine, but don't call it love." Gasps echoed. Kat's jaw clenched. "Maybe I didn't fall in love here," she snapped, "but I was real. Real about having fun, real about figuring it out. Sorry I didn't sit in the corner and wait for a wife swap like you did, Sean." The crowd booed. Twitter went berserk. By the end of the night, hashtag Sean was right trended worldwide. Kat's reinvention tour. After the reunion, Kat leaned into her villain role. She launched a podcast called Paradise Unfiltered, where she spilled tea about editing tricks, secret producer manipulation, and the fake nice guys of reality TV. Her brand shifted to owning the chaos. She wore t-shirts that read, "I choose me," and sold mugs with the phrase, "Exploring Connections since 2024. Her fan base, though smaller, was fiercely loyal, painting her as a feminist icon standing against reality TV double standards. But outside that circle, the larger Bachelor Nation still believed Sean's version of events. Sean's glow-up. Sean, meanwhile, embraced his truth-teller reputation. He became a frequent podcast guest where he recounted Paradise moments with humility. He didn't trash Kat, but he didn't retract his words either. That restraint only made him more respected. Brand deals followed. Dating apps wanted him as a spokesperson. He landed a spread in People magazine under the headline, "The Man Who Told Paradise the Truth." Bachelor Nation whispered, could Sean be the next Bachelor? The fans' final verdict. Months after the finale, as new reality shows premiered and old drama faded, one storyline still echoed across the fandom: Sean versus Kat. Fans immortalized Sean's words on t-shirts, mugs, and fan edits. Kat's reunion eye roll became a meme for dismissing bad takes. But in every forum, in every podcast recap, in every late-night group chat about Paradise, the conclusion was the same. Sean was right about Kat. Not because Kat was evil, not because Sean was perfect, but because Sean had pulled back the curtain on what Paradise had become. Less about soulmates, more about strategy.
And once he said it out loud, fans could never unsee it. The legacy of a single sentence. Reality TV thrives on villains, heroes, and truth bombs. In Paradise Season 10, Kat gave us the chaos, but Sean gave us the clarity. His line, "You can't keep doing this, Kat," will live on in Bachelor Nation history, replayed in anniversary montages and best-of compilations. Kat will forever be remembered as the queen of chaos, the woman who owned her villain edit and turned it into a brand. Sean will be remembered as the man who said what everyone was thinking and was proven right. And the fans? They got what they came for: drama, chaos, redemption, and the undeniable satisfaction of knowing